The Galjoen, South Africa's national fish. How's it, guys? I hope you all are well. Yeah, unfortunately I was sick last week, so I wasn't able to gather you guys any new footage. But it's actually a blessing in disguise, because I want to share some information with you guys. Because when I make a video about fishing and we're catching quite a lot of fish, it is difficult to put in all the information, like where we're fishing and what are we looking for, what is the type of structure that we're fishing, and there's no time to actually go in depth into why I'm fishing certain spots. It's either going to be educational or going to be fish. It's very difficult to put all of that information into a 20-minute video. So I'm uploading this video for a couple of reasons. Firstly, showing you guys where I'm fishing for Galjoen, take you with me as how I decide where I'm throwing, and actually showing you guys some drone footage on where I'm throwing and why I am choosing that spot to fish for Galjoen. And another reason is I want to keep this momentum going with my weekly uploads and engaging with you guys, because I really enjoy making these videos for you guys, even though I don't catch a lot of fish, or I don't catch fish in every videos. And for me it's something that I can share with you guys, and a lot of you anglers can relate. And I can see it in the comments as well. If you take an 8-hour fishing day and you compress all of that into 20 minutes, it can seem like fishing is easy and that we always catch a lot of fish. And yeah, look at this guy, he's catching, every time he goes out he catches a lot of fish, and that's not true. And if you're a new angler and you're just starting out and you're battling to find fish, I want you guys to relate to what is actually going on, and this channel to be a true reflection of what's happening outside. There's a lot of times, actually more than often, that we go out and we go and fish and we don't catch any fish. That I want to show you guys, to actually be like inspired, not to get despondent, and to keep trying and fish harder and just learn as much as possible. The more time you spend next to the ocean, the more you will learn. So yeah, what I'm getting at is, don't give up, fish hard, and enjoy nature, enjoy fishing, enjoy the scenery. There's way much more to fishing than only catching. So yeah guys, I'm gonna put this video together with some water reading, and there is a video on my channel on how to create the traces. There's also a video how to gather redbait and how to mature it, the whole maturing process, everything is there. So guys, if you take these 3 videos, the water reading one, which is this one, then the one where I'm gathering redbait and maturing it, and then thirdly the one where I do a little tackle talk on Galjoen fishing, on the setup, the trace and everything, then you sort it. There's all of the information that I can possibly give you is in these 3 videos. So, and that's where I want to go with this channel, is that I don't want to do one video of 10 or 20 minutes and then try and give you as much as possible information in as little time as possible. I want you guys to get like a comprehensive overview of why I'm fishing for a certain species and how to fish for a certain species. And remember, this is only how I fish for Galjoen, or how I fish for a certain species. It doesn't mean that it is the only way and the right way. It is just over the 22 years that I've been fishing, what I've gathered over the years and have implemented and has worked for me. So yeah guys, stay tuned, follow me on this day. You're not going to see any fish, but I'm certain you guys are going to learn some things on where to throw and what to look for, and hopefully you guys will catch some more Galjoen. So yeah guys, keep fishing. Galjoen, South Africa's national fish. Probably one of the most sought after and targeted species during the winter time here in the Southern Cape and Eastern Cape waters. I'm going to take you guys with me, show you what I look for and what I do to successfully catch and land one of these fish. So let's get to it. So firstly, before you start to fish for them, you need to understand the habitat, where they live in, where they feed, and what to look for. So let's talk about a little bit about that. Galjoen will hang around rocks because that's where their food source are. They prefer to eat redbait, small crabs, alekrekel, and basically anything that grows on the rocks that they can rip off and feed on. There are numerous different types of baits that you can use to target Galjoen. Number one would be redbait, then we'll go over to white mussel, sand prawn, little red crabs, just to name a few, but every angler has their favorite bait to target these fish. A good idea is to walk around on the low tide, inspecting the areas and possible places where to fish for these Galjoen and familiarizing yourself with the area. This will make it a lot easier for you to fish when you come back on the high tide, knowing exactly where to throw. Like this little gully coming in right here. This is the perfect example of what I'm talking about. Let's just go back for a couple of seconds and I can explain you why. There is a lot of growth and vegetation in this gully. This gives a lot of feeding opportunities for the Galjoen. Once this little gully fills up with water, the waves pushing over these rocks will create a lot of working and churning water, and that's exactly what you need for when you're fishing for Galjoen. If you look right here, that's an opening to the wide open water, allowing the Galjoen to come in on the pushing tide and feeding freely in this gully. This would be the perfect high tide spot for Galjoen to come in and for you to fish it from the back. So familiarize yourself with areas like this and identify good spots where to fish for these Galjoen. Guys, and then a huge thank you to the guys that have supported Stefan with his online shop with Still Fishing, and through that supported ZLF, Zulu Fishing. I really appreciate it. Guys, Still Fishing has great prices, absolutely amazing service, and that's where I purchase all my tackle. That link also would be down in the description. If you go directly onto the website, which is www.stillfishing.com, use the promo code ZLF. A little bit of that goes to ZLF, and I can put that little bit of money back into my channel and making better and better videos for you guys, upgrading camera gear and stuff. So I don't want to talk too much about that. It is not a promotional channel, guys. It just supports, it just helps a bit with the fishing, funding what I do. So, but this is actually about fishing, so let's get into some fishing. Let's go a little bit closer so that I can show you guys exactly what to look for and exactly where to throw, and the reasons why we choose this specific spot to throw for Galjoen and why they will be feeding there. As you guys can see here, we have a lot of white water and churning water and working water. And from the side it would look really ideal to fish all over the place. But where specific do you want to place your bait, and why do I want to place it there? Come and let me show you. To do that, I need to get a little bit closer to that rock. As you guys can see on the left hand side, 2/3 up, there's a rock in the water, and then on the right hand side, 2/3 down, there's another rock. Let's focus a little bit what's happening around that rock on the right hand side. Notice the wave crashing over the rock. Let's go even closer and have an even deeper look at it. You would want to look for places like this, where the galjoen can hug really close to the rock. Notice how the water washes off from this rock. All this current is washing off from that rock loosens up all the bait and little crabs, and the galjoen can sit right next to the rock and eat anything that washes off the rock. Also, that white churning water is what you need for the galjoen. Notice how deep penetrating that white water is, and it's not just on the surface. As you guys can see on the inside of this rock as well, which would be another great spot where to throw. You need to place your bait as close as possible to the rock, because that is where the galjoen will feed. Leading up to the end of this rock, you can see on the right hand side we have the similar scenario. This would also be an ideal spot where to throw for galjoen. You can see this area has a lot of potential for galjoen. There's a lot of gullies, gutters, bommies, pinnacles and rocks sticking out from the water. When I fish for galjoen, I like to walk around 2-3 throws on a spot and then move, find another spot, have 2 or 3 throws, and then just work my way until I finally found a galjoen and what the pattern is for the day. It doesn't help you much standing the whole day in one spot. You need to find different spots, identifying areas where the galjoen might be. And then, once you get to learn where they feed and what to look for, the most important thing is your bait. I have a video on red bait and how to mature your red bait and the whole maturing process. I have a complete video, comprehensive video on that. That link to the video will be down in the description. How I pack when I'm fishing for galjoen, it's just a light little sling bag, my little dipster, and then some buckets to keep my bait in, because we're constantly changing location, changing spots, and you're looking for these fish, this gully, that gully, and then you're throwing towards a pinnacle, all sorts of different structure that you're fishing at and looking for these fish. So you're continuously making new throws and moving spots a lot. So I like to keep my bait on me. I keep a couple of extra baits with me, and then just a small sling bag that I can take all over, and it's quick and easy to pack up. And if I need to have it on me while I'm fishing out on a reef, I can keep it on me. And then the trace, as well as a rod and reel setup. There's another video that I've done on that as well, so I'm not going to show the exact trace and talk about my rod and reel and all the setups. That video will also be in the description. So I've done those videos. So what I want to show you guys more today is where to fish and what to look for. The water doesn't look too bad, it actually looks lacquer today. There's a lot of color in the water. In the Southern Cape, Eastern Cape areas, they like to feed in southwesterly wind. They're not so keen on feeding in the southeast and the easterly wind, but anything with the west in it is really good for galjoen. And guys, what you have to remember, if you're watching this from down in the Cape area, Western Cape, remember how we fish for galjoen in the Southern Cape and how you guys fish for galjoen down in the Western Cape. It's a completely different story. We make longer throws. It is a lot more foul where we fish, and we fish quite heavy for them. Not that you guys don't have big galjoen in the Western Cape or down in the Cape area, but we have some serious big fish, and in between those heavy rocks and mussel beds and red bait beds, we find that we hook a lot of kraken. So if you watch the video on how I do my trace and my reel and setup for fishing for galjoen, don't think it's an overkill or it's too heavy, it's too big, because you guys in the Cape fish with like a number 1 and a 1-hour and lighter hook snoots. We have to fish like that because we have big galjoen. We fish in very foul areas, and we often need to make really long throws, like 120 to 140 meters, to get to a pinnacle or get to where the water is working at the bommy or gully or whatever structure you are fishing. So yeah guys, I like to start out on a low tide when I'm fishing for galjoen, and then with the push, but any tide works for them. I think today my timing was just right. I got you on the low, the water's just going to start to push, so I'm going to work my way all the way back as the tide push, and those galjoen are starting to move into the gullies, onto the flat banks, and just going to fish for them. I'm just gonna move, find another spot. The water looks really lucky. As you can see here behind me, it is working. It's nice, really nice turbulent water, but I fished every single piece of structure or little hole or gully next to the rocks, over the rocks, everywhere where there possibly could be a galjoen, and they're definitely not here. So I'm gonna find another spot, just move, see if I can't find them. Maybe we'll come back here on once the tide has started to push a little bit more, but there's nothing wrong at the moment. Just gonna hope that maybe they might move in with the incoming tide, and yeah, but in the meanwhile I'm just gonna find another spot. Yeah, the water looks really lekker. Typical galjoen day, grey skies, little bit of misty, coldish, wind blowing from the west, and quite a big swell. So yeah, looks lekker. I'm very positive. I'm sure we're gonna find a galjoen. So once I find a new spot, I'll show you guys why I chose the spot and what I'm looking at. So let's hope there's a galjoen. I just found a lekker little spot here, nice rolling water. So guys, if the audio is terrible, please excuse me, or please excuse the audio, because I can't use an external mic when I'm out on the reefs like this, so I have to rely on the GoPro's audio, but the wind is kind of blowing and pumping, so yeah. But anyway, look at the spot that I found and where I want to fish. See, let me just get a little bit closer. You'll see it's flat, and then it slopes deeper, and see those waves breaking there. They just constantly rolling in, not slapping really hard. It's a little rock there, a little gully going through. You can see the opening there. So that's where the fish will come in. They'll go onto these banks and they'll feed on whatever is growing on these rocks. Would it be red bait, small crabs, alikriekel, anything that they can find. But this looks really lekker. I'm just gonna have like 1 or 2 throws here, and just like a test throw, and then move on and find another spot. Right, 2 throws maximum, no fish, find another spot. No galjoen. Let's find another spot. So this is the next spot that I chose. You guys will see there's deeper water, some rocks in the water right here, and white foam going around. That's where I started fishing, so I worked my way around here. So this is actually where the reef slopes off into the deeper water. So what I'm looking for the shoal of galjoen that will cruise all along the edge of the reef, looking to come up onto the reef. So the shoal of galjoen will cruise all along on that white water and feeding in that turbulent water that the waves are generating. And what happens, all this water that comes onto the reef washes off into the deeper water. and that sucks off every small piece of bait and everything for the galjoen to chow. So they'll wait for anything that washes over the ledge into the deeper water, and they'll feed off that. I'm going to throw straight in, or just on the inside of the white water, and I'll slowly roll with the current into the deeper water off the ledge where the galjoen are supposed to feed. So I'm going to fish all along here, try different spots. First straight out, then just over that rock, all along here, just over that rock. This is all places over there, that's all places where you can throw. Just over this white water. Here I'll fish just over the white water, over those rocks. And right here I'll fish in the white water, trying to roll with the current out of the white water, and I'll hopefully get the bite just before I'm into the deeper water. Okay, finally I have a little on here. I'm not sure if it's such a small galjoen or if it's a blacktail, but it's definitely not the size of fish that I'm looking for. It's been really quiet this morning. Hopefully we found some fish here. Blacktail. Blacktail. Been really a battle this morning. There we go. At least we have something to show. I'm sure you're gonna get a galjoen, guys. Water that's really lekker. Come on. Guys, if you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comment section, and I'll make more educational videos like this, and hopefully it will help you guys catch more fish. And if you enjoyed watching it and you want to see more of Duluth fishing, please consider subscribing, hit that like button, it really helps the channel. Thank you guys, cheers.